Hey everybody, welcome back, or first time watchers, welcome to the channel. My name is Nightmare on Kelp Street, or as the name of the channel at least, but you can address me Nightmare on Kelp Street from here on. This is where I cover new music on this channel. Recommendations are welcome. I'm still catching up on recommendations left last year in 2025 by some fans, so if I haven't got to yours yet, just know it's coming. I just have it in the works currently. I'm kind of getting back into the groove of making things for the channel. Just busy with work and things outside of YouTube. I still make money from YouTube. There'll be a comment on that at the end of the video here. But if you'd like to support me, I have a chance to at the end of this video. So just stick around if you've been following the channel and you would like to support it at some point. For all those new and coming back, welcome. From this video going on forward, I'll be trying a different editing style, new type of editing style I'm practicing with. I hope you enjoy it. I intend to include more visuals for the screen so I can both clip it for like shorts and other things, and just in general be more engaging for the audience. You know, I watch YouTube, so I understand that when there's things on screen, it helps engage the audience instead of just like me talking to you. You know, I hope you enjoy that, but we can have a little bit more going on here, you know. So if videos take longer to come out, just expect that that's probably why. I'm the main editor for the videos currently, so it's just me editing it, writing the script, which I'm reading off behind you here. Little peek behind the camera is that there's a laptop behind you. And today we're covering a new album from a personal favorite current rapper out currently, JPEGMAFIA, experimental rap. I've already seen a few other reactions, admittedly, particularly from Needledrop's mid-reaction to the album that just came out that I watched, to shout out specifically to this channel. I feel like big ups because I've been enjoying them recently. Who is Hulu? I've been freshly enjoying the channel for about a month or two. It's a very warm, very wholesome approach to music is how I'd approach his, like, say his channel's topics are about. Is it's very great environment, honestly, that I can see he's creating over there. So I just want to be a big shout out to him. And I have to say, out of the reactions to this project so far, I've probably been the most positive, including like written reviews and things I've read online to this album, is that I just really enjoyed this album. It's been 3-4 times possibly re-listened to it, like just around, like in the car, at work. My first listen the night it dropped, or the day it dropped. And admittedly, I've been a fan for about 8 years or so, possibly up 9 years at this point. So I'm a bit biased going into this project, of course. But I feel there's some blatant surface level things I have to address. Like if you look up this album and like go to do your first listen, or just like things I'll have in the review here to like give context to. The cover of this project, regardless of where you stream it, is insane. It's wild. I understand from both the image here and the lines in the album that pop up off and on, like in the song New Era, where he says, "I flew so many bitches out, they thought I was trafficking," and on Pop This Heat, where he says, "I can't be playing positions, I'm running a cult out here." That he is definitely in a current kind of villain arc, I would say. Like this cover and major themes I take away from this album is that he's going like Joker mode, and he's like, I'm gonna play the villain if you want me to be the villain. And while that part's just a little edgy and just not really, I'm like, it's kind of funny to watch as a sideline viewer, just as a fan. I kind of love the fire under his ass that this project brought to him. To be honest, like, yes, I agree the cover and some major themes in the album of misogyny are kind of just slathered all over it, and those parts I don't like. I'm talking about like taking your bitch, talking about owning a bitch, talking about like even some of my favorite tracks, War Over Land, where he's like, even the hoe you don't really like that much or is like really personal with is still yours. Like he's very possessive. That comes up multiple times. I love the album despite these lines. That's kind of where I wanted to lead to. If anything, the cover adds to the weirdness and borderline kind of creepy horror vibe to all his music that has kind of just been peppered in off and on throughout his entire projects and singles. Some of my favorite tracks of all time by him have this personally, like the song Does the Ski Mask Make Me Look Fat or Man Purse. Both in art and tone have this type of tone, and you'll see from track titles I bring up in this review and just in general in past tracks, he has a theme to track listing and track titles. Is that he's mentioned before in an interview, I can't remember which interview, but he mentioned before in a quote that he's like, my track titles are kind of a test for my audience. If they're not into them, if they scare them off, then they weren't meant to be with me anyways. And I think it's an interesting approach to music and track titling. It's like they're sometimes just borderline like kind of like old pop punk songs where it's like it had nothing to do with the song at some point, but it is funny to see the random titles that come up, and most of the time on this project they do fit what's going on in the song. Have this kind of horror vibe, and they remain years later some of my favorite JPEG and Peggy songs to date here. All this to say, when it opened with the Paul Moody comedian skit at the beginning about you having no sense of humor about yourself as America, fuck you can talk about two motherfucker, da da da. I was like, okay, you know, I'm ramped for this, because I've heard Baby Girl, the main first track on the album, the opener. I've already heard it a few times, and I was very excited for what was coming rest of this album. The vocal loops here in the back of What You Gonna Do is very, like, rock, punk heavy, and the eventual breakdown of rock at the end with Peggy's effortless flow and the strange but like bouncy chorus of "Baby girl, you move with that bad baby girl," reminded me of all the favorite parts of "I Lay Down My Life for You," his previous album, and this kind of rock era he's been in for a minute now. That's just amping me up even more, like the energy going into this. The quote is like in the first verse of the "Draco take you out your body like severance" has also been in my head for a good few days. Shout out to Severance. Then Burning Hammer, the second track, plays. The first of the new tracks on the album. And the drumline sample over this, like, techno moments of, like, cut in, cut out editing of this album, kind of like a rave dubstep vibe type theme type beat going on here. And that comes up more later, I'll mention that later. But there's definitely a wild direction here I did not expect going into this second track here. This song at moments is both explosive and energetic, and in the last like 30-40 seconds or so, very sobering and like a calm down. One of the few calm downs you get on the album. It goes into Money, which is one of the other singles. It's the first huge step I mentioned before in that like rave rap direction. Just huge breakdowns. Like this shit would go crazy live. Just crazy drops just coming in over his verses. I'm surprised he can find pockets on some of these songs, and how he's like some of these beats that's so buried in there. Because it's so much going on. I'm surprised he finds a pocket in the track to do it, to do anything with. The first like 50 seconds of Pop This Heat, it's like this gorgeous soul sample that also comes up in the album multiple times, like gospel soul, like just in sampling, and both just like a whole skits of just gospel at some points, like as a slowdown. Reminds me a lot of his flow and approach on Hazard Duty Pay on Pop This Heat specifically. It's a good song, light guitar peeking in and out in the second half. Around here is where it's like dropping off of my favorites personally, but I still like the energy it carries onto the next tracks. I'll skip around the track list here because I'm going to be honest, a big draw to Peggy to me isn't his lyrics and production, it's production. All his production on his albums and his music is impeccable, damn near awe-inspiring to me in some moments, and an approach and how unabashedly him it is in style and sample. Multiple times, the tried and true sample of a woman saying, "Everything about JPEGs I like, the color, the resolution, the size," is all over this album, and I love how it's peppered in. And nowhere as a fan did this hit harder to me personally than with the double track of His Will and Lights, a 1-2 combo of like a gospel intro, it's like a skit, and a crazy mixed version of All the Lights by Kanye, by Ye, wrapped over with like electric guitar, like just peppered in and just like really goes hard in the second half there. This version really elevates the original to me in a way that's pretty crazy to think of, let alone get approved as a sample. Now the lyrics on some of these tracks are inescapable. I'm not gonna like go out of this review and not say anything about them, because they do stand out. Two don't have written, but just stick with me from my first and second listen, are the "She Take Dick Like She Like Taylor Swift." And I'm like, you talk about really loving white girls specifically, what white girl are you going to meet that doesn't like Taylor Swift? And the second one is on Head, where he says at one point, like, she tries to get, like, she sucked me off, I can't get hard on my head, she sucked me soft, or something like that. And that one, I was just like, oh, honey, I'm sorry you can't get hard. Bit of a self-report there that was a little funny. It stood out to me, especially because the head becomes so early in the track listing that you're gonna hear it if you listen to the first like chunk of the album. But the ones I do have written down that stand out to me even more are some in the second half that have like definitely been like the main talking points of this album online, particularly the song and the whole first half of The First Amendment. It's just this whole yelled opening, like mocking Charlie Kirk's death, and I'll have the lyrics up on screen here, but it's talking about talking to the side of your neck like Charlie Kirk, lean to the left like Charlie, just yelling out and like very much like mocking his death. And I haven't mentioned like this whole type of incident online yet on my channel yet, because it's very divisive among people. As a queer person, as a trans person, I've talked about that already multiple times on this channel, so I don't feel bad saying that he was someone who spread hate rhetoric, so I don't feel super bad. But you know, I've seen people online both get like banned off Twitch and hate speak at them for mocking him, and it's just kind of a shit throwing show, honestly, where I just like kind of stopped talking about him for a good while, because it's just shit throwing on both sides, left wing and right wing, and you know, I could leave it up to them. At the beginning of GYBB as well is one that stands out, Get Your Bitch Back. Even if it is a character or a bit or a joke, it kills the momentum of turning to the track, this intro, where he's like, y'all are in the streets, y'all not doing it Mike Lee, you do street shit different. You N-words are doing all this, I make money, there's a difference, don't come to me with the goofy ghetto shit, I'm racist. I'm racist and I don't like that. And I understand that he might be playing a character in like this type of era and this album and all that. It still kills the momentum of the song for me, and I can't revisit this casually, especially if he's like just saying blatantly at the front, even if it's a joke, like, I'm racist, don't come to me with that. Like, come on now. But as a full front-to-back listen, this project is mesmerizing to me. Like, production-wise, no one is out here doing it like JPEG is in a specific style like this, except for like maybe a Clipping, who I just saw live this year. They're incredible, but I was thinking of like Clipping and JPEGMAFIA, maybe Arm & Hammer, but I know in the past JPEGMAFIA and Arm & Hammer had a bit of beef off and on. I can't think of people out there who are doing it this style of weird, like specifically just owning up to being like as weird and as off-putting as they can in the music, even if it loses fans, because they're passionate about it. I can tell the passion in this project. My last two specific track comments here, though, because I'm going to like kind of condense it down, is 25 tracks, 52 minutes, somewhere around there. So it's a long album. A lot of tracks are like a minute long, 2 minute long, but because of how strange it gets, it feels like a long album. So I would highly recommend giving it a shot if you want to delve into this deeper. It's worth at least one listen. Give it a shot, you know. But my last two specific track comments here will be for Yin, my personal favorite. The refrain in the beginning and throughout the song of "Money in the Bank, shawty what you drank," and the orchestral backtracking that just like loops it once he does start rapping and just like goes throughout the whole song, really make this like with this like really incredible fast rapping on it. It's been in my head for days. Just a gorgeous song. It's weird to say that something on the song can be both strange and experimental. Like, it definitely is experimental rap, but it's a gorgeous song. It's really pretty to listen to. And the interesting psychedelia rock guitar outro in "You Will Always Lose Money Chasing Women, but You Will Never Lose Women Chasing Money," which, again, the track title, I could take or leave, but the song itself was really good and a great sobering moment for the album. It had like a full 2.5 minute just guitar solo in the outro, just like lead everything out after an album so explosive and so crazy. Coming out of this album with mixed feelings, though, because I left in awe the style of fusion of like heavy borderline punk rock screamo at some points and like rave rap he's come into this with. It was put forward in this album, even if there was an album, like I feel like he definitely set out and got his mission done of what he wanted to do with this. If ever there was an album to be just called experimental rap, he definitely lived up to the name on this one, at least. But the themes, like, I would have personally liked a little differently, like just there's so much misogyny in this album. It is blatant with the talk of it online, with both the cover and the topics of like multiple songs. Almost every single song at one point mentions like "I take your bitch, I fuck with your bitch," da da da. So like it would have been nice to have more depth to it. But I don't come to JPEGMAFIA anyways for the lyrics, so I didn't really come out expecting like that at all. But it would have been cool to have something deeper there. You know, like I think of someone contemporary as well, like a Genesis Owusu. He just had an album come out, and that one was incredible and lyrical. A little less explosive and strange than this one, but had more depth to the lyrics in songs. We talk about like "Fuck Elon Musk," and, which came up in this album too. Like if you didn't your Tesla, you're gonna go broke because you're renting it. Like there's quotes like that about like Tesla. I think 2 tracks. Bring it Cybertruck, 2 different ones. But yeah, I would highly recommend if you want something for production, listen to this album. It's incredible. Listen through if you like more focus on production. If you want something for lyrics, contemporary, listen to that new Genesis Owusu album, which I might cover soon. Also in full review. It was pretty good. I just need a few more to listen to with it. I hope you enjoyed the video, though. I'm keeping it short today because I want to put out like more frequently recently. So if I keep it shorter, it's easier to edit. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what your opinion on this is. If you heard it, what you recommend if you haven't. And yeah, just subscribe, stick around. I'm glad for everybody who's been sticking around since I've been hiatus of making videos. I really appreciate it, and big kelp love to y'all.